Greetings and welcome once again. This is World Gospel Impact Church, and we are doing our youth talk show. Your host today is myself, Nompumelelo Myeni, and I am with our wonderful panelists who are going to introduce themselves. The topic that we are talking about today is one that is closest to my heart. I actually, as a coach, I give keynote speech on this topic, which is identifying self-sabotage and actually dealing with it. Because we find a lot that people would like to blame, or as people, we would like to blame other people for a lot of things that happen in our lives, other than looking within ourselves to find out what is it that we do that actually affects our progress and affects our success in our own lives. To not take a very long time or eat away from the time from my panel, I would like to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves and then go about and speak briefly on the topic that we are on today. I will start from my right.
Sanmona, my name is Unokbonga Mhluli, and basically today we will be speaking about how you identify the red flags of becoming your own enemy, and how do you become your own best friend? How do you better yourself and not sabotage yourself? So yeah.
My name is Ndumiso Sihle Mdenega. The topic there is self-sabotage. I would like to touch on self-sabotage on its own. To me, it's when you allow insecurities, maybe you can say trust issues, influence a certain behavior when is about negative. And since it's self-sabotage and negative, alimaza wena in a long run, and we end up giving up izinto, crushing izinto ezibalulekile empilweni zethu, because this thing has came ifikile and there's acting in a certain way. Yeah.
Sanibonani, igama lami uCelimuso kaDladla. Sizobe sikhuluma identify self-sabotage. Well, to me, self-sabotage is, how do they identify it? Ngibona ngokuthi maybe ulethe your fear, overcome ama feelings akho, or what you need to do. Maybe let's say mhlambe we've got an audition, maybe on interview, mhlambe you need to go there, but ugcina ungashowaphanga ngenxa yokuthi usabile or anything. Yes.
Hi, Sanwonani. I'm Glenn Matthews. My general understanding of self-sabotage, or identifying self-sabotage, is when everything good is happening in your life and you always feel like you don't deserve it. It doesn't belong to you. You always look for that tiny little thing, like your life has become this balloon and everything is so airy, everything is so wonderful. You're just looking for that tiny pin so you can pop it and then it bursts. And then you want to blame other people sometimes, but you have nobody to blame but yourself, because it is self-inflicted. You have done it, of caused it upon yourself for everything to crumble because you have thought you don't deserve it or it doesn't belong to you. So that's my basic understanding of self-sabotage.
All right. I think that is a great understanding by the panel in terms of what is self-sabotage. But to go deep into it, I would like to give you guys a sort of an opportunity to sort of tell us what is or where is it rooted. One would say that everything has got a root. Everything has got a place to where it starts. So what is your understanding of the rooting of self-sabotage?
If ngakhuluma mina ngami myself, ngaqala ngokuthi okay, well, ekhaya it's about 6, but the other 5 ibikhulele ema-farm, mina bengi la eThekwini. So I spend a lot of time alone, and most yezinto ngithe mangizifunda, it's either bengizizwa ngendlebe or something I find ku-internet. So nakhona bengizwa izinto ezi negative kakhulu, then it just kwafika nje kumina ukuthi so kahle kahle impilo it's just something efanele ibe nzima nani. So ngithe mangifika entweni ezithize yabona, instead of ngibe ne-confident kuzona, I started expecting ama-failure yabona. So I started trying ukuthi ngizame ukuvikela ama-feelings wami ngendlela thizeni ukuthi okay, let me just expect le nto le so that mayenzeka, angibi crushed, angibi ne-stress yabona. So yeah, that's how I sabotage myself.
All right, so your root was information that you received, which then transformed to thoughts of about how you thought of yourself. So thoughts then being the root that is coming out of you. What other root is out there?
For me, ngingasho mina ukuthi it's your mentality, how you think about yourself. Nanokuthi condemnation. Yabo, condemnation it could really mess you up because it's what you feed yourself. It's not even about what's abantu bathini ngawe. It's starting from within. So it's very toxic. Self-sabotage is very toxic in that way. When other people cannot even see you like that. It's how you view yourself first. So I think it starts and stems from the mind. It can also stem from depression, which are also my mental illnesses. So I think it's a powerful in such a way. My mental issues, just depression, anxiety, so forth, is on a dala is a self-sabotage sometimes, yeah.
Yes, and the peer pressure as well. When you're around friends who are doing maybe drugs or alcohol or something, that's also sabotaging yourself by using those things or by compromising yourself in a way, just to make other people happy. That's you're sabotaging yourself as well there.
So it is rooted in the mind, it's rooted in our thoughts, it's rooted also in peer pressure. And what are the tools that people use to sabotage themselves? Because now the root is there, that there's a particular way that I think of myself. Hence, then it has to come out being or in a form of a particular tool that I use to then sabotage myself. What are the tools that you've seen people sabotage themselves with?
If I could start, let me just make an example. Like I think to just get back to where it's rooted, for me and my family, it's generational. Ekaya, you grew up knowing that you must go get a proper degree. Aikingan is also in TV. My grandmother always said that's not a profession. No kid is going to go out and go talk over radio. That is not a job. A job is a 9-5. So for us in our family, so now you get boxed. So now the tools are, because now I've been told with this information, like us, so Tisha, like us, like incident in my family, you're going to go do that and nothing else. And anything also we try to accumulate apart from that. We also like TV. Who have you seen in our family being on TV, being a broadcaster, being a news reader, being whatever? Like us in look. So it comes and then you get to close yourself into that box. And now you try to use is into like a common like her verse. So it never worked in my family. So why do you think you're going to be the first one? Because like her each generation and like her Yenza 1, 2, and 3. So the minute you try to oppose, not really oppose, but the minute you try to set yourself up for something that is different or apart from what the family has followed, and then you try and like, oh my goodness, you're not good enough because of what you've been told. So now you use less into good things where it's 1, 2, and 3. So I'm not going to do it any longer. So I close myself up and then I just try to follow something else apart.
I keep hearing the word believe popping up in your statements. How does what you believe really affect you in terms of your progress and your success? Because it seems like it's one of the roots that are roots of self-sabotage. So how much of a role does what you believe have in you self-sabotaging yourself?
When you believe in something, I know good see if I believe it doesn't wenzakala. So believing it's like suyazi ukuthi no man yazi lento izokwenzeka ngendlela ethize. So there's this thing maybe is what they call it. Okay, but it's when ilukhunja, the more into icabanga kakhulu igcina yenzeka yibona yabo. So same as believing. So the more into uyibeliever umuntu ofailayo, you attract lezo zinto lezo ukuthi zigcine sezenzeka. So that's how I believe on into a negative. Yeah.
All right, so how do we then identify a person that is self-sabotaging? How do we see that this person is self-sabotaging, and how do we then go about in terms of assisting them back to what we would call a resourceful state?
I think, okay, you see umuntu or who's self-sabotaging themselves ngokuthi normally the things they always tell themselves, the things, how they portray themselves, it's quite visible because we just clap a road to test. I'm like, okay, hey, I wonder ukuthi ngithole bani, noma ukuthi I don't think I did well. Yeah, well, you're already flooding yourself with negative thoughts. So that's how you identify. Umuntu ohleze ebona i-self-worth yakhe i-low. Ehleze ngayiboni ngazuthi I can actually do this thing. I can accomplish. I did well. Umuntu ongayi-uploadi ngokuthi lento engiyenzile was good. Yabo, they're always waiting for ukuthi abantu beze besho ngisho abantu sebemtshelile. Still, they do not believe. They do not take it in. And into engayisho ukuthi mhlambe when ufikelwa ileyo negative thoughts, maybe try ukuthi stop yourself and then just think about something positive at that moment, because that's how you're going to overcome negative thoughts before iziloki escalator leading to another. So yeah,
just to add to what she said, I think kufana nokuthi when a lady comes across or any male and uthi bona, you look so nice in that suit or you look so nice in that dress, and then she's always going to look for lento ukuthi ay fanele usho. So then Gandhi, what assurance do you want or don't you have? Didn't you look yourself in the mirror, and then do I need to be that factors or to it looks so good in you? The minute I say it looks good in you, it's something that you know already. So that's how you identify. It does go with esteem. When I say you look good, I'm like, you don't quickly say I know, but you're like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. They learn to accept a compliment. People that are suffering from that, that's how you see they cannot spot when you are complimenting them and telling them well done. They always try to look for that defect, that one thing that says, and then they, but let's be valela. If I can normally say, we are more as you come across Suguti or Gitila Nanigan Amslanj. So yeah, exactly.
Okay, I like that because also some other characteristics also connecting to that is that the person is always talking about the good old days because nothing good is happening now. And then the person always prefers not to take the first action. They always want somebody else to act and then they follow. If imsebenzi yatholakala kuphi kuphi, they would want other people to go on the first day so that they can follow on the next day. But how do you help? Because we said identifying and dealing. How do you deal with that state that you are in a form of sabotaging? You are sabotaging, you're hurting your own dreams, you're hurting relationships, because other people would even hurt relationships that matter. You know, when the relationship is comfortable enough, they want to dismantle it because they feel they don't deserve. How do you deal with that as a person? You mentioned that you change how you think about yourself. How much more then can you do? Because when a person is locked up in a state, remember that you can't ask them to pray because they're locked up in a state. Prayer is something that you should do for them. You know, so when a person is in that state, how do we assist them?
First of all, I think kufanele kube yilo muntu lo identify ayibona une problem and accept lokho, confess akusho ukuthi no, I have 1 no 2 no 3, angiyithembi njalo mangenza into ngihlale ngiexpect ukufaila, of which nakhona ukufaila it's not a bad thing, not per se it's a bad thing, it's not a bad thing, but it's not like say it's the end of the world. failure iyenzeka noma yikuphi, but okay, that's not my point. Ukade ukuthola ukuthi okay nginenkinga kuphi, nginenkinga 1 or 2, ngisho kumuntu ukuthi no nayi inkinga yami kephi nakephi, then get help, willing ukuthola usizo somehow.
Yeah, I think mostly with my mental issues, it's never really easy ukuthi umuntu accept. So to agree with uCelmosa ngingasho ukuthi it's self-acceptance first, and then futhi asking for help. Umuntu accept ukuthi yeah, I accept ukuthi ngiyayi self-sabotage, but hey, let's not go there. Yabo, it's being able to uzwelane nalowo muntu, to make sure ukuthi you break the barriers, a trust ukuthi they must let you in, and then they can find help, mental help futhi with a psychologist, a therapist, but it's a matter of actually breaking out and talking about it, because into eyenzeka internally. So once usuyiveza externally, I think that's a step forward. And that's full recovery, but it's a step forward for you ukuthi ugcine usuyibona the way ngalendlela eyiyona. But yeah.
Would you say that it can be an immediate recovery, or what is it? Would you promise the person listening and watching us that it can be an immediate recovery?
It is absolutely not an immediate recovery. We would say if it was, it's a miracle. It's not really happening. But again, it's a process. It's a daily process, but it's the way to snap out of it. Like taking it steady or step by step is living in the present moment. Do not wish for something that was or that is, or you can for that is, but always try to accept for what today is and live in the thoughts of today. Be in today. Celebrate what you have now. Don't wait for ikusasa ukuthi flip, I blew out $50 izolo without even thinking. Enjoy what you have, celebrate what you have, and live in the present moments. That's how you snap out of it daily.
And to add on that, futhi Glenn, kuyasiza ukuthi to know ukuthi okay, since I've done this, there is a setback ukuthi uyithole futhi so in that state. But it's to actually realize ukuthi okay, bese ngihambe kangaka, even though kube a setback, it doesn't mean that you failed. Oh no, it's not going to happen. Try again. Yeah. It's a matter of ulokuzama,
yes.
daily. Yeah.
I think so. Your parting shot?
Oh, okay. It's actually a tool or a method. Once you've identified you doing sabotaging, okay, it's something I heard. Actually, I read on a book. But the more you hear, the more you would see believing and believing. So what's in now? You can take your phone, record yourself, uzisho, yonke good now, and play it njalo before ulale. Just keep playing it. So it's in the long run. Yeah.
So talk positively to yourself, accept yourself, celebrate yourself, embrace your present moment is advice that you are giving to our viewers out there. We want to thank you for taking your time to stay with us. We are at Gospel Impact Church, and we are talking to our youth on the subject of self-identifying self-sabotage, which is one of the most important subjects, because you feel that a lot of people would want to look for external saboteurs other than identifying their role in how they impact their lives. We want to thank you and appreciate you. God bless.